traveled to New York City to kill the president.
This guy's selling smoke. Wrap it up, Ev.
The name of the agent is Evelyn Salt.
My name is Evelyn Salt.
Then you are a Russian spy.
Man, who knew salt was so indestructible? Hey, man, it's one of the oldest minerals. You can't defeat salt.
It's the only rock our bodies can digest.
And you do know that a lot of salt will kill you.
I have never seen a woman just bounce off with so much stuff.
Yeah, if I was dating her, I'd have high blood pressure.
Yeah.
You never saw Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo?
She should have been broken into the way she... I mean, this chick just... Cause y'all talking about people playing Frogger in these chases. She literally played Frogger. Yeah. She jumped from truck to truck to truck to truck.
I didn't even think about that. Dude, Frogger the movie. It could happen now.
Hey, you better shut up or else it will.
It's starting to look like Frogger.
I don't know about all that. That's crazy talk.
No shit. You must have given up on women if you're saying that.
I saw a silhouette of her in this movie, and I was just like, okay, is that another disguise, or what's going on? 'Cause those lips were just pouting. Like, those lips were bigger.
I'm telling you what, man. Her lips can't get too big for me.
No, that's fine. More Angelina Jolie for us.
Yeah, thank you.
Go ahead. Yeah, you could split them up like frog legs.
You know who she looks like? If they make a live-action version of Dr. Teeth and Electric Mayhem from the Muppets,
what, Janice?
She would be Janice.
For sure.
It has moments of serious drama in it, and it starts out very in a way that's very believable. I mean, it's for a spy thriller. No spy thriller out there is 100% believable. I thought this was going to be one of those approaches where, okay, this is exaggerated, but it's kind of like what they did with Casino Royale, where they made the spy, the super spy, a little bit more grounded.
Yeah.
And what happens here is that Angelina Jolie, she works for the CIA. They find this defector who comes in, and he starts admitting all this stuff, and he just finally says, yeah, y'all got a spy in the middle of y'all, Russian spy, and it's this bitch right here.
He doesn't necessarily say it that way, because he's Russian.
Well, he says it with a Russian accent, but that's basically what he says. And she's like, who, me?
And it's almost right after that, she runs out the door, is already in the middle of traffic, like causing kind of traffic jams, ganking people off their bikes, jumping on top of trucks, rolling around.
Running through trucks.
Yeah.
On the ground! No! Stop, no!
No! On the ground!
I have to find my husband, please. Joshua!
Stay back!
Last chance! Somebody is setting me up!
Don't make me put you down!
No!
Come on, Ev.
No!
What he says?
On the ground! Down
We'll sort this out, I promise. I gotta bring you in, so sober, face down.
Somebody's going to try to kill the Russian president. You know that. Do something about that. That's what you should be worried about.
There's nowhere to run. Quit now!
No, I didn't do anything.
Action sequence alone where she's jumping from truck to truck to truck, I'm like, okay, can we just end this already? Because this is already, you're kind of pulling me out of this movie, because I'm like, this is like a superhero movie all of a sudden.
I think you're just jealous.
I still think you got some Jolie problems. Because all the stuff you're saying, I don't understand. I was like, right from the beginning, I was like, yep, this is going to be one of those super silly spy movies that if you go with it, is going to be fun. And if you sit there and go, well, that's not possible, then you're like missing the point of the whole film from the get-go. I mean, it's so level upon level upon level of just like double and triple and quadruple. And I think it went to like 8 times double agents at one point for some of these people. You're like, I can't even keep track of who's on what side at this point. And
yeah, I got to say, like, from looking at the trailer, I was like, this is going to be ridiculous and hopefully not like wanted. All in all, it was better than I thought. I mean, it was a lot more grounded. And they build it enough to make it somewhat believable where you can go with it if you want to. But as far as being ridiculous, I'm like, you know what? This is no more ridiculous than a lot of the Bourne movies, especially that second Bourne movie when he's in that taxi cab and gets hit dead on 8 times and keeps driving where the car would have been a Flintstones car. I'm like, oh, look, if everybody can forgive that, then what she's doing, like, they give her some history. And the thing that I thought was
Bond film.
Well, yeah, any Bond film. And the thing I kept thinking, like, you know what? This movie brought out to me like one of the things I didn't like about Iron Man 2 was how with the Black Widow they just kind of threw her in almost like a Saturday morning cartoon superhero. But I'm like, you know what? This is the Black Widow the whole time. Everything she's doing, like if she would at any point put on that Black Widow costume, everybody would buy everything she's doing and talk about how badass it was.
If you're going in with that mindset, but I wasn't. I mean, I was like, well, maybe this will be something like the Bourne Identity. Maybe they'll show me something new. But
no,
it
was.
I didn't think so. Honestly, with Bourne Identity and the James Bond films, I find that both those characters far more interesting than I did Angelina Jolie's character. Angelina Jolie's jumping on a truck. And Wanted, I saw her jump on a train. What hasn't this bitch jumped on? I mean, besides something like...
but not you.
Awesome.
Not you. I think that's what the problem is.
Besides the awesome, most handsome-looking robot in the country.
I did feel that like that moment where she was doing that so much. I wanted the guys from Mythbusters to just like... Yeah. I want them to test out, can Angelina Jolie really be thrown off of a bridge and land on a truck? Blood come out with a face. We guess no.
I want to see that too.
Yeah. That would be a great episode.
I think that like the two great things about this movie are there is no real slow point. It never goes.
That's true.
Woo, let's take a breather. It doesn't do that. It's just like bam, 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 bam through the whole movie. And fuck yes, come on. I don't want to think about what's happening because if I did, it would probably all fall apart.
You just turned into Bam Bam from the Flintstones.
Bam, bam, bam. Just had a whole studio shook when he did that.
I'm just thinking about it.
You'd be a badass Bam Bam in the next Flintstones.
I am a badass Bam Bam.
What it is about the Bourne movies, because you're right, they don't really build a whole lot on Jason Bourne because he's a mystery through those whole movies. There's 3 movies where he has to put all that together, so it's hard to really figure out how much you care for this guy until you really get to know him. That takes several films. But it's all the political intrigue behind it that I could buy. And they made that a little bit more well written than a movie like this.
Sure,
where
absolutely.
It got to a point where they were explaining what was going on and they revealed something else later, and I was like, man, for a movie that's really trying to take this approach of trying to get us to buy this whole conspiracy, this is just getting stupid.
Well, yeah. I mean, when they introduced what it was, even just like the Americans versus the Russians, I was like, really, the Russians? That's so 1990. I can't really believe they're bringing this up. But it is the kind of movie where, as Cyrus brought up, you have to decide whether you're going to go with it or not. There's certain things early on where I was like, yeah, I don't know about this. But then I was like, hey, I'm here to have a good time. And I went with it. I'm like, you know what? This is fun. It's doing a lot of things I was hoping it would do and thought it never would. And I was with it up until just about toward the end. Like there's that point. It's not even at the third reel. It's just somewhere in the middle of it where that's when co-hosts I would give you, they start to go, oh, man, I sure was digging this. I hate that it's going this. It chose to go this way instead.
You were irritated just because I called who the real bad guy was before we even saw
I wasn't irritated by that. I wanted to give you a high five. Like, hey, bravo, dude.
Honestly, I thought the whole audience figured out who it was. I mean, I definitely did. Everyone who was chasing after seemed so incompetent. And I'm like, they can't even protect who they should be protecting in this movie right half the time because everyone's just looking like doop-be-doo. Yeah. Look out, a hot chick.
And you know what?
I didn't get that at all.
No, because you were right. I mean, there's an accident in the middle of the street. Angelina Jolie caused this huge accident in the middle of all these taxi cabs. First of all, that would have killed about 5 or 6 Pakistani guys. No, everybody got out of there just fine. Yeah. But the other thing is, a massive accident like that, everybody would be like, nobody's walking away from this. Everybody's a witness. Angelina Jolie climbs out the car that caused it all and just slowly walks away. And everybody's just looking in the car like, who's that one with the black hair? No,
hey, man, when she's got on that wig and that coat, it's a cloak. She disappears. They can't see her.
I guess it is.
It's a ninja outfit.
Everybody who was there, they interviewed, they were like, so what did she look like? She had nice tits.
Some goth chick walked away from this.
When you're as skinny as Angelina is now, I mean, of course, who the fuck is going to see you? I want to. Yeah, I know. Who needs the Predator outfit when you have Angelina Jolie?
She did put on a little more weight since her last couple movies, which I'm glad. But
in her lips,
it's like you want to be I want to tell her, it's like, I think she's a decent actress. I think she's beautiful. I think if she wants to be an action hero, more power to her. But for God's sakes, drink some protein shakes and fucking work out.
That's what I'm saying. I had that problem with her watching her and Wanted. And I hate bringing that up. I mean, but I'm sorry.
Getting sensitive.
When you introduced me to the next action star you're trying trying to build up. I mean, you're gonna have to find an actor who I can believe that can whoop my ass. I'm sorry, but I mean, I can throw like a leaf at fucking Angelina Jolie and probably impale her with it.
See, that's the thing though, is that I thought that while that may be true,
it should whoop your ass.